A Zebra steel pen feels good the second you pick it up. These are tough pens that combine style, strength, and value. So, as you battle your way through the day, arm yourself with a tough Zebra steel pen. Now you've found Zen in your pen, and it's tough as steel.
It is time to wake and take with Stugotz. 7, 8, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 8, 3, 7. That's 7, 8, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 8, 3, 7.
It is Wake and Take here on 790 The Ticket. We take your phone calls. I have plenty of notes. I've done tons of research. I read tons of articles yesterday. It is your job to get that information out of me. I mean, the easy way to do this would be for me to open up a microphone and give you the information that I want to give you, but that's not how we roll here on Wake and Take on 790 The Ticket. I have it. You have to get it out of me. But first, we interview Guillermo.
No.
Me?
You.
What are you talking about?
You good?
I'm good. You good?
I'm good.
Dan, you good?
I'm good.
Right?
Good.
Okay. Right.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Good. Back Chris?
Chris, you good? He's on the phone. Allison, you good?
Who's back Chris on the phone with?
Allison, you good? Calls. A rash, probably.
Doing a radio show here.
Callers. He's taking callers.
I thought he was talking to his dad or
it's,
something.
It's Wake and Take. He's taking callers.
I didn't know. I didn't realize the phone lines were popping this early. Guillermo, let's interview you.
Why don't we interview Roy? Let's interview Roy after we interview Guillermo.
All right.
Your call.
I didn't get a chance to watch the Marlins game last night, and the Marlins are now 6 out.
Ooh, that one hurt last night.
And they've lost 4 straight. And Dan says that like it actually hurt. And I was thinking last night, Guillermo, kind of along the lines of what you were saying a couple of days ago, where Dan's happy that the Marlins are losing.
Yeah.
You get that feeling, right?
Oh, he's rooting for them to lose just so he can be right.
Yeah.
He wants the town to suffer so he can be right. It's really strange, Dan, because you're such a nice person in real life. But like you're rooting against them just to be right. You'd rather be right than have everyone else be happy.
What I've been trying to
put
tell
that on
you,
the poll.
I've got no chance on that if that's on the poll.
Would Dan rather be right than everyone being happy?
Okay, there you go. I mean, go ahead and put it on the...
You're going to lose that one, Ben.
I mean, thank you.
He wants them to win, but he wants us to acknowledge how bad they are while
I don't
they're winning.
think they're bad.
No,
I think they're a 500 team, and I want you guys to stop telling me that there's something a lot better than a 500 team. That's it. Like the numbers all suggest they're a 500 team. And if you want to do it simpler than that, they're above average on offense, they're below average at pitching, they're about average on defense. That's some average. Like they're a 500 bleeping team. Man. They lose to all their games against the Nationals. They win all their games against the Padres. They're a 500 team.
Yeah. Debatable.
Are they actually at exactly 500 now?
No, I think they're below 500.
They're a game under.
Yeah. Because I told Billy last night we need to sweep the Phillies here, and that was a bad loss last night. It was a bad loss.
And the Brewers and the Rockies won?
I mean, yesterday was just a bad day overall.
The Rockies lost. The Brewers won. Your beloved Brewers.
Man, the Rockies are leaving it open for you. They're losing games at home. They're leaving it there for you.
Yeah. The problem is, I mean, Arizona's just a really good team, so we forget about that.
Forget about them right now. You don't need to worry about them.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah. That's fine.
Well, they've been crushing the baseball lately.
Yeah.
They only need to beat them once, though, in the wild card game. Anything can happen in a one-game sample size, Dan. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay. So all we need to do is get there, which we can. Can we get there, Dan?
That's the part I don't agree with.
Oh, gosh, this again.
There's still hope. Just 6.5 out. Or 6 out, I should say.
We play everyone ahead of us. Dan, come on, Dan.
That's what there's bad karma, is what Guillermo and I are trying to tell you. Like, we're all rooting for something that you're not rooting for, and we prefer you, rather than just be right all the time, we prefer you just to jump on the bandwagon with us and cheer them on.
But you guys aren't correct about this. Like, I'm so often wrong around here. So often wrong around here. And I'd be happy to be wrong on this one. I'd be happy at any point in the last 15 years to be wrong about any of the Miami teams. Unfortunately, the only few times that I've been wrong, I've ended up in a Speedo across from Charles Barkley. I still can't believe that Heat team lost to the Dallas Mavericks in the final. Still can't believe it.
All right, let's interview Roy. Callers, I'll get to you in a second. Are the phone lines popping? I can't see the phone lines.
Ooh, Arash is here. You want to go to Arash before you go to Roy?
No. You got to interview Roy first. We only go to Arash when we're done interviewing everyone associated with the show.
People really like Arash. I'm starting when I go out to get asked about Arash. Yesterday I was at the Anderson and somebody asked me, "Hey, is that Arash person a character you guys created, or is he real?" I'm like, "No, that's real. That's just some dude calling in."
He's gained a great deal of Twitter followers. Have you noticed that?
I mean, it's funny. He's funny.
Yeah.
He tweets things out, and his tweets have a watermark on them. It's an apple. A rash from New York. Apples are overrated.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to get into the game with. He's trying to get in the game with apples are overrated.
Stugotz, I feel like Tuesday there's going to be a whole different story with this Marlins team, by the way.
Why?
I mean, I have these papers. They're out of date. I have to update them. The papers, though.
All right, let's press pause on our interview with Roy for a second. And
wait a minute. Why didn't we press pause on our interview with Roy to talk to Arash, but we're pressing pause on our interview with Roy to let Guillermo wave around his run differentials from 3 days ago?
Because something's going on with you and age and, I don't know, maybe possible medication where you're forgetting things. Guillermo's been waving these papers in your face for days, and we haven't gotten to them yet. So,
all right, so for these papers to work the way they're intended to work, we have to pretend the last 3 days didn't happen. Okay. So let's go back. Let's pretend we've just lost one game to the Nationals right now.
Okay.
Right now, we're 2 games over 500. Marlins looking good. We just had a nice series. We swept the Padres. Unfortunately, we lost that one last night to the Nationals. But Dan, guess what? For the last 3 months, you've been saying on the Marlins, they're under, whatever, run differential. You know what? The last 3 months, Dan, today is August 28th. You know what the Marlins are in run differential the last 3 months? 30. Plus 30. You know what your Brewers are, Dan? What? -2. You know what your Rockies are, Dan? +7. Who do you like there?
Yeah, in the last 3 months, those teams have been 500 teams, and the Marlins have been a little bit better than
killing it. Yeah. And we have 2 of 3 now against the Nationals. We can easily take those 2, maybe one of the 3. If we take 1 of 3 against the Nationals in the next couple days, we'll be good. Then we'll sweep the Phillies, and we'll be great.
I'm really happy.
All figured out?
Yeah. I'm really happy that what's happened around here is some learning that has Guillermo waving around run differentials. I'm very pleased. That's something that simply would not have happened 10 years ago. You guys would have been pounding me with the record.
Well, here's the thing. There's probably a lot easier way to do this than me sitting down and printing out the results.
Just look at ESPN.com. Just look at it.
I could probably set it for 3 months and not have to do it manually. But it was fun. It was a fun little project I did. Exciting game.
Well, how about this? I will give you that over the last 3 months, they have been better than the Rockies and the Brewers. Wow. I will give that to you.
Wow, great.
Unfortunately, the season is longer than the last 3 months.
How do you think the series?
Thrilled about?
How do you think the series against the Nationals is going to turn out?
I mean,
Strasburg on Wednesday.
You don't want to be playing them with or without Bryce Harper. That's a good team. That's a team you just don't want to be playing them.
Wait, so that's a good team?
Yes, the Nationals are a good team.
All right,
whatever. The Marlins are going to get the next 2 for sure.
Yeah, they're going to take 2 of 3 against Washington. And then Philly comes to town. We come back home, and we'll be good. Right?
We'll be good.
That's right. Everything will get fixed. I'm sorry. I thought we were. I My bad. I
August
forgot
28th.
that we had time traveled back to a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
My bad. I thought you guys were confusing me. I thought they were playing Washington again. I'm like, why are they playing Washington again?
Well,
They just played
that's
Washington.
next
We
week,
do play
Dan.
Washington
Yeah, we're
next
looking ahead.
week. We play Washington next Tuesday in Miami. But right now we're in
They
Washington.
weren't looking ahead. They were pretending that it's still Tuesday.
We play them
and
a
that
week from today.
Yeah, a week from today.
That's next
Tuesday,
week.
We'll be back playing Washington at home. And they're going to be scared of us then because we're taking 2 or 3 from them in Washington. Then they come home or they go on the road to Miami.
Have you guys seen that the NFLPA is simply trying to block the entire Ezekiel Elliott suspension? It's not even trying to get it reduced. It's trying to block it.
Let's ask Roy about that.
All right, let's interview Roy.
Roy, have you noticed that, what the NFLPA is doing?
Yes.
What do you think? I mean, Roy, this is the part of the show where I interview you. I mean, what do you think about that?
This is hard and unfair to Roy. Yeah, it's not fair to Roy.
Well, I mean, we gave him many minutes to think about the fact that he was going to be interviewed.
No, you didn't. You
Listen, man, I never know what topics he's going to lob at me, and I just kind of roll with it, man. You got to roll with it. Just roll with it here on Wake and Take. It's Wake and Take.
Guillermo just whispered in my ear. By the way, Dan, just to produce you, it's Friday again now. Like, don't think that we're still on Tuesday. I'm sorry. My bad for not keeping you abreast of what day we were on. Thank you, Guillermo. I appreciate it. So, Roy, you don't have a strong opinion on what the NFLPA is doing?
No.
All right. Excellent use of the microphone.
All right.
problem.
All right, let's take some calls. I mean, Roy, what can I interview you about?
Man,
I don't
we've
get it.
tried
Just
hockey with you, Roy. We've tried hockey with you, and that hasn't gone well. So once that's the starting point, what can we talk to you about?
I don't know.
All right. Very good.
All right. Let's take a call.
Yep.
Let's go to Arash. Arash, you're on Wake and Take here on 790 The Ticket.
Sorry, guys. I'm under the weather, so I'm going to make this quick. Scallops, overrated. If I want to eat something that tastes like the ocean, I'll drink the ocean. Trust me when I say stay away from scallops. Just one thing. The guy who wears the boots during the summer, you need to stop. You look stupid. We get it. You have a twisted desire to get athlete's food or something like that. Right. Timberland on the beach, give me a break. I'm not having any of this. Also, Eclipse, overrated. It gets dark every day. It's cold night. Get over it. $200 glasses for Eclipse glasses. $200 for Eclipse glasses. You know, I'll sell you mine for $199, and you could go buy life with the dollar, with the rest of it. Okay. All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Rasham. Put that on the poll, please. Are scallops overrated?
I'm with them on scallops.
I don't like scallops. I also agree, if I want to taste the ocean, I'll just drink the ocean. Actually, put that on the poll. If you want to taste the ocean, will you just drink the ocean?
What kind of poll question?
That's a good one.
It's a terrible poll
and
question.
it was the Eclipse overrated.
Guillermo, put this on the poll. Is, if you want to taste the ocean, do you go and taste the ocean? A terrible poll question. Like the worst ever.
Right,
and Stugotz's fault. Put it all like that.
You can put that there,
is it a terrible question, the worst question, and Stugotz's fault?
And put this on the poll.
Oh, for the love of God.
Is Dan being mean to me? He asked me to do Wake and Take, and I'm doing it, and I'm doing it my way, and all he's doing is criticizing my poll questions. I mean, feel free to take over the steering wheel, my friend.
No thanks.
I mean, doing the best I can here. So, do we have all the poll questions out? Is Dan being mean to me?
They're all marked. They'll go up in the break.
Scallops overrated?
Yeah.
Good.
The ocean. You want to taste the ocean.
Why are you peppering Guillermo with where he is on the poll? I've never done that to him on the poll, where you're making sure, taking inventory, that all your terrible poll questions get up there.
This is the first time ever we have lobbed five poll questions at Guillermo at once.
Put up there as well, is Dan better at the poll questions than Stugotz is?
And when you're done with that, put, is Stugotz better at the poll questions than Dan? Okay. We're good? Good. We're good. Let's go out to Tyler. Tyler, go ahead. You're on Wake and Take here on 790 The Ticket.
Hey, Stu, you good?
I'm good. You good?
I'm good. I'm good. Shervington, are you good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Good, Tyler. Good.
All right, good. Hey, Arash the other day said PJ Fleck overrated. Well, Arash, he's overrated, first off. PJ Fleck's going to be rowing the boat. Going to be rowing the boat a lot up at Minnesota. And also, Butch down at FIU, really got thumped last night. On the hot seat already?
Yes.
Yeah, he's done.
Yes, Butch Davis on the hot seat. Losers allowed 61 points to Central Florida.
Howdy doody, please.
Oh, howdy doody. That's right. I got that text in the middle of the night from Guillermo. Just howdy doody, exclamation point, because Butch Davis kind of looks like howdy doody.
It's going to take him a minute, though, right, Butch Davis?
Well, he's got 2, and yesterday was
No, they're
one
there. They're champion. They're champion ready.
But listen,
after last night, I'm ready to declare it. Look out, Alabama.
I'm thinking next year, preseason, top 20 ranking, and they'll surprise a lot of people. And then eventually they're going to have one of those seasons where it's like, whoa, FIU. And then 5 years after that, they'll never be able to play football at FIU again. Because Butch did something wrong.
I'll take it. If that's what happens, I'll take it.
Of course you would take it. Who wouldn't take it? If I told people who care about FAU football that 7 years from now, death penalty, you have no more football program. But the next 6 years, Lane Kiffin is going to do things with that program that no one has ever done. You take it, right? You would take that, right?
I kind of wanted FIU to do what Lane's doing at FAU. Like, I feel like FAU might be good this year. Just because he's going crazy and just taking everyone. Like, anyone that's had any problems, it's okay. He's bringing them in.
If you were a school like FIU or FAU, I'm serious about this.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you try to become a renegade program? I mean, but the reason is probably because of, academia. We can't care about football that way. Academia.
Those places? I mean, I don't know those schools well enough to know.
They're colleges. They're priding themselves as being institutions of learning, so they don't want the stains that could come with a renegade football program. But seriously, I'm wondering what's the closest we've ever seen to that, Mike? What's the closest we've ever seen to a program that's small-ish, an FAU or an FIU, making a run into... Are we talking about like the Boise States? Is that what we're...
we're talking like a Boise State type run.
Like if you're Boise State... No, but if you're Boise State, as an example... Boise State has gotten some name because they got the blue football field and their team has won some. But if you are Boise State, would you make the exchange of what they've gotten out of their football program with scandal?
Right.
In exchange for what they've gotten out of their football program without the scandal?
Yeah, of course I would. I mean, I think most fans would, right?
Well, I mean, if you're a fan,
first off, you hired Lane Kiffin and Butch Davis.
Yeah, but
by extension, you're hiring renegade coaches.
I know, but
right?
But Stugotz, when you say most fans would, the problem isn't most fans. The problem is the rest of the alumni base that isn't fans of sports, and that is a fairly large and substantive thing. That was the whole tension that was happening at the University of Miami when Miami was winning those championships. The tension that was happening, even with championships, the tension that was happening is the academia was like, oh, we don't like that kind of reputation on our program. We enjoy the winning, we enjoy the Saturdays, we enjoy the money.
But the reputation.
But we don't like our school being known for bad behavior.
Right.
And that was with having one of the best 10-year runs college football's ever seen.
So they care more about the reputation than the football team winning, is what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And they don't care that much about football.
I mean, that's how it was.
Well, I would say you don't care about football if you care about the reputation of your university more, which is fine. That's fine. You're entitled to...
Well, my guess is if we put that on the poll, that would be more important. The reputation of your university. What do you care about more, the reputation of your university or the football program? There would be a lot of people who don't care about football.
Definitely to the people making the decisions. Like, I don't think the president would rather have a good football team and have his university have a terrible reputation.
But Stugotz is confused by all of this because Stugotz runs everything through his prism, and it's all about sports all the time. He's confused by the idea that a school president wouldn't care whether his football team is good or not. Confused by it. Like I'm looking at his face.
Would only judge my university if I was a school president by the success of the football program.
The thing though, it's really tricky though because like if you have a great football team, you'll get more people attending your university.
Right.
So like it works hand in hand. You just have to kind of sell your soul a little bit.
Right. I mean, I never heard of Boise State until they became good at football, and that's it. The reality. That's the deal. Let's take a call. Do we have a name?
We got 4 of them here. Joe, Abraham, Parker, Sergio.
All right, let's go to Sergio. Sergio, go ahead. You're on Wake and Take on 790 The Ticket.
Hey, Stuart, how you doing?
What's up?
Yeah, I have $1 million idea for you guys.
All right, hold on. Let me write it down. Go ahead.
It's a Venmo tip jar.
So who?
You Venmo. You open a Venmo account for the show, so every time you do a good joke, weekend observations, we can tip you guys.
All right, I like this idea. Do me a favor. Get me a P&L by COB today, okay, and wire $100,000 to my checking account.
Sounds good.
This is a good business. Yeah, no, it's a good business plan. It's a good business model. Rasham. So he's going to tip us, Dan, just so you're aware. If I make a good point, you make a good point, anyone on the show makes a good point or makes a good joke, there's going to be a Venmo tip jar in which our listeners can put money in it for us. I like that idea. You?
It's not a bad idea, Dan.
That's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
We'll give it to charity.
It's if you're shameless, we'll give it to charity.
Your portion.
If you're shameless and don't care at all about internet panhandling that cheapens your product, then yes, it's a good idea.
All right, we agree.
You're listening to Love Advice with Leanne. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Leanne. Longtime listener, first-time caller. Why, in your professional opinion, do you never take my calls off the air?
Is this Carl?
Yep, it's Carl. I mean, we had a few dates. Everything was great. I thought,
Well, when you switch to Geico, you could save a lot of money on car insurance.
Okay, awesome.
You should call them.
I will.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
And now, back to wait and stay with Stugotz. Go now. 7, 8, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 8, 3, 7.
That's the phone number for Wake and Take here on 790 The Ticket. 786-456-4837.
We got a real division in this room, man. Chris and Stugotz and Mike think that open is really great.
Yep.
And me and Allison are like, oh, God, why are you guys so actively and overtly just bothering the listener and wasting this platform's time?
I mean, let's be honest. Allison feels that way about most things. Regarding
fair
this radio show.
Fair point.
Yeah.
How about the rest of you? How do you feel about Roy? How do you feel about doing that? How do you feel about?
Man, I don't care.
Okay, you're indifferent. How about you, Guillermo? How about you?
About the opens? They're they're different.
All right.
They're unique. They
Man.
stand out. Wake and Take, Dan.
Fit in, man.
You're really fitting out.
All right, my bad. Let's go. Let's
Fit
keep
in.
it moving.
This story that you showed me, you tried to discuss it in the first segment, and I wasn't prepared for it. But you showed me the story during the break. It is interesting what's happening here with Zeke Elliott, where the investigator did her investigation 13 months, and it was her recommendation that there be no suspension for Zeke Elliott. And what's interesting is she never meets with Roger Goodell, and her recommendation of no suspension for Zeke Elliott is not in the final report. And that's a fatally flawed system. That the person who's doing the investigating never speaks to Roger Goodell, and the fact that she wants no games for Zeke Elliott never makes it to his desk.
According to the Star-Telegram, because people must have been marveling at how informed you are about the inner workings of an NFL investigation. Like, you're just saying things are facts.
Right. That's a fair point. According to the Star-Telegram.
It sounded like the sources were yours. It sounded like you knew that the lead investigator had recommended no suspension.
Totally fair point. These are not my sources.
But regardless, that story arrives and you guys think what? Because I'm telling you that this is the danger of an overzealous commissioner making the rules up as he goes along, now incentivized to stiffen the penalties so that when they get appealed back, over punished so that Ezekiel Elliott appeals and gets 4 games, and this time the union saying no, 0 games. 0 games. And Goodell is he is risking, Stugotz, another. When these reports come out, all of a sudden now Goodell is risking alienating another powerful fan base and another powerful owner. Right. He's already done it in New England. In New England, he's already got Bob Kraft, who was a supporter, against him. And to me, it's just fascinating seeing him try to navigate all this stuff because Jerry Jones might be pro Roger Goodell right up until Roger Goodell is taking his running back unfairly. My guess is that is enough, the way Jerry Jones does business, to go from Jerry Jones supporting Roger Goodell to Jerry Jones not supporting Roger Goodell. Right. If you're going to try and wreck my season with 6 games by taking my, one of my best players,
that's interesting.
And you don't have evidence, and your lead investigator, according to the Star-Telegram, your lead investigator told you no suspension is what was merited here.
Right, and that's why Jerry Jones, according to this story, had so much confidence when he said there's no evidence, because he was told by a high-level NFL executive that there would be no suspension, based on her investigation.
Well, my guess is here, when have you ever seen reports about what a lead investigator recommended or didn't recommend? As I read that story in the Star-Telegram, the first thing I thought is, who's Jerry giving information? Like, it's the first thing I thought.
Right.
Like, since when do we get what a lead investigator recommended or didn't recommend? When do we get those reports? That's somebody high up giving that information to the Star-Telegram.
Never get those reports.
Well, you never hear about what an NFL investigator recommended to Goodell. No. Like, that is absolutely something that's being planted in a Dallas newspaper by somebody who's got pro-Dallas tendencies.
So the NFLPA they're gonna sue unless it's no games, which is not going to be. It's going to be 3 or 4 games. They're going to sue. And so it looked like maybe, depending on how long it takes, Zeke Elliott will be available to the Cowboys week 1 of the NFL regular season. Man, it's tied up in court.
It's just such a... Stugotz.
You hate this. You hate the fact that the NFL is...
Well, more than that, just more than hating it is like, look, man, I was wrong about the Detroit Lions the year I thought they were going to the playoffs and they went 0-16, and I was wrong about Randy Shannon. I said he had 0% chance he'd ever be the University of Miami coach. He was the University of Miami coach. I've been spectacularly wrong, but I kind of told you that all this was coming when Roger Goodell decided to insert his toe in the domestic abuse business.
Can't believe I fell for it again. Because I think I said last week, the NFL, their investigator, 13-month investigation. She's armed, they're armed with all the information that we're not privy to. And I believe the NFL, moving forward here, based on how they handled Ray Rice, will do the right thing all the time. And it looks like, if you believe this report, and the NFL hasn't earned a lot of trust with a lot of people, if you believe this report, then it looks like the NFL has done a really bad thing.
Well, but guys, they're just in over their head. This is not an issue that he said.
But they were supposed to fix it after Ray Rice, weren't they?
But Stugotz. But what I'm saying is, if the justice system can't fix he said, she said in court, like, this is just really complicated. Right. And football is not equipped. They're in over their head. They are in the deep end of the pool, and they don't have any of the skills required to swim. Like, they're sitting here trying to tackle. It's as if, Stugotz, I'm not even kidding you. Think about what I'm about to say here. It's as if the NFL today decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to be leaders on ending racism. You'd be like, wait, what? How? That's nice. That's nice. But what? And, like, here they are trying to be leaders on domestic abuse. And, okay, good luck. Good luck.
Let's take a call. Who do we have on the board there, Dano?
What you've got on the board is Brett, Parker, Abraham, and Nathan.
Let's go to Brett. Brett, go ahead. You're on Wake and Take here on 790 The Ticket.
Stu, what's going on?
What's
First
up?
Of all,
Yo.
McGregor. You good? You good?
I'm good. You good?
I'm good. Dan, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. You good?
I'm good. Roy, you good?
Good.
No, Roy? Dirty Demon, you good?
Dirty Demon, are you good?
Yeah.
Where you been at, man? We've been looking for you. Anyhow, didn't know if you saw Pacquiao pulling out of that. That's going to be a Pacquiao-McGregor collision course. Don't know why we haven't been talking about that. But need some hot takes on CC calling out Nunez last night for bunting, calling it Bush League. Thank you. Rash him.
All right, rash him. CC called out Nunez, the Red Sox. He called him weak for bunting in the first inning. And he's right.
He is?
It's weak.
What?
Who bunts in the first inning?
Bunting?
You hate bunting. Bunting in the first inning. Listen, I don't go to a baseball game to see a guy lay down a bunt, and I certainly don't do it in the first inning. All right, I don't want to see that in the first inning. I want to see guys taking hacks.
Well, what I've told you about bunting, was it to move a runner over, or was it to bunting for a base hit that Nunez was doing?
Nunez said he did it because they know CC has a bad knee.
He was
bunting. They're trying to get on base.
And he did get on base because CC threw the ball away.
Oh, okay.
So he was getting on base.
No, that's interesting, right? Because CC, you attack a weakness. I get it.
Sabathia said it's kind of weak to me.
Right.
It is what it is. It just shows what they've got over there. They've got smart players, CC.
And the Yankees seem to have a defensive pitcher because a pitcher who's shaped like me who knows that he's got bad knees.
It's weak, your knee. Get better, CC.
But you want to see a bunt in the first inning of a game?
Whoa, Guillermo just cut CC. Whoa. Did you hear? Do that again. I feel like you didn't hear. I feel like you didn't listen to what Guillermo just did. You didn't hear it, did you?
No, I did. That's why I came back with what I came back with.
What did you come back with?
I came back with, yes, but do you really want to see a guy bunt in the first inning of a baseball game?
Yeah, it's weak, your knee. Get better, CC.
I don't care about the knee. That's what I'm saying.
You didn't hear him at all.
Regardless of the knee, man. I don't want to see that. I'm a fan.
So we're just going to give CC outs because he has a sore knee?
Yes.
Please.
We're not going to bunt because fans don't want to see bunts.
You would have driven home proud of yourself for the entire weekend if you had delivered the line, you know what's weak, CC? Your knee. That's a Stugotz special. That's a Stugotz emoji 100. That is pure, the purest form of Stugotz. In fact, can we do that, Mike? That seems like it'd be a fun game. What is the purest Stugotz you can snort? Because I feel like, in fact, I would love to take calls on that.
That was pretty close right there.
One sentence, that's right. You know what's weak, CC? Your knee. That is Stugotz, undistilled, the good stuff. Put it in your nose and snort it.
You know what's weak, CC? Your knee.
And now, back to Wake and Take with Stugotz. Call now, 796-456-4837.
It is Wake and Take here on 790 The Ticket. We'll get to your calls here in just a second. 786-456-4837. What were you guys discussing, shipping container? What were you guys discussing in regards to Dan and text messages during the commercial break? Because he doesn't answer text messages often. It's a frustration many of his friends have. You text them, and sometimes Dan will get right back to you, and sometimes it will take him, 8 to 10 days, and sometimes he'll never get back to you. But what was the question, Fat Chris?
We were trying to guess whether Dan had more or less than 25 unread text messages currently in his phone.
Huh. What do you think?
I went over, way over. I thought that was a low over-under.
It was originally presented to me as 50.
Yeah, that's what it started as, and then we kind of moved it down.
All right, you moved the number.
But you're talking about the little number, not in conversations. So, if someone sends 4 texts, that counts as 4 unread texts.
Right, because I have 1 right now. So you're going over there, Chris? Guillermo?
I think it's early in the day. I think Dan's under 25.
All right. Mike?
Under.
Roy?
I say under.
And Allison thinks way over, right?
Way over.
Speaking of way over.
Right.
Triple digits.
Well,
what's going on there? Because Allison, has he not responded to many of your texts over the last few days?
It may be that Allison sent 25 herself, but he hasn't responded.
Well, here's the thing.
Dan, you mad at me?
Here's the thing about this. Because I do believe I'm just generally less addicted to this phone stuff than most people. But am I the weirdo here? Do you guys answer every text message? Do you guys get right back to people instantaneously? When I think about that, I feel like that's a bleeping prison. Do you guys do you get back to everybody right away, or do you discern what's important?
That's cool. It's our fault again. Everybody.
Right. I don't get back to people right away, but I eventually get back to them. I try to get back to them within, an hour or two of when they sent the text. Allison's great with text. Mike is great with text. Guillermo's hit or miss. Fat Chris, hit or miss.
Yeah,
Roy's pretty good.
See, you guys say
Roy's
this,
terrible.
but you got
Roy's good with me. Roy's good with me. Roy's good with me.
Well, but here's the thing. I am, ostensibly, in whatever form it is that this team has a boss, I'm ostensibly the boss around here. And I send group texts all the time about work stuff and never hear back from any of you guys. And I'm the boss, and you don't hear me complaining about it.
What's a response? You say something, we do it. There's sometimes
No,
there's
like
not much
I'll
to
ask
say.
a question or something.
It doesn't feel like a question, to be honest. It just feels like do it. You're the boss.
I'm bad at getting back on text. Sometimes I'll read, like if someone texts me during the show, I'm not going to have a conversation with you. I'll read it, and then I'll forget because it's like 2 hours ago, and I just don't respond to people, and they get mad at me.
Now, my wife, I think you're right. It's a horrible way to live. My wife, she feels the need to respond to anyone about anything within like 60 seconds of you texting her. And I'm with you. I'm somewhere in between you and my wife because she feels the need to do it. You'll kind of get back to us when you get back to us, if you ever get back to us.
But the thing is, I don't care if somebody does or doesn't return one of my texts. Like if I don't hear about somebody for hours.
It's
like,
disrespectful, man.
When you send a group text, we all will then start our own group text, just terrified about what you just said. So we do respond. You're just not included.
Subgroup.
What does he mean by this? What's the best course of action? Say nothing? I don't know.
What do we do?
Who's going to respond?
It's Sunday. I'm going in right now. I'll do it.
Who's going in first?
Is he asking or telling?
Can't decipher. Just stay quiet. Just do it.
Hope it goes away. Hope it blows past and he forgets it and gets
No
lost.
one responds.
It's usually my contribution.
I'd love for you to be able to see one of those group texts.
I would. I mean, wait a minute.
I delete them immediately.
Wait a minute. How much would I have to pay you to see one of those group texts?
No, you can't. There isn't an amount of money.
Yeah. Well, there's always an amount of money.
Allison's always. Is he mad? What do you mean by that?
Man, you guys are crazy. Like, you
What do you
guys
mean?
are crazy. I told Allison.
We're scared of you.
Here, listen to this, Stugotz.
Our fault again.
I told
It's our
Allison.
fault, her
You
fault.
tell me how this is my fault and not Allison's fault.
What, that we're scared of you?
I told Allison a dozen times. I've told Allison a dozen times. Allison, I've never been mad at you, and I'm not going to be mad at you. You don't do anything that makes me mad. And her response is, you hate me, and then runs away. That's not on me. I don't hate Allison.
She does nothing that makes you mad? Did you see yesterday's guest list?
You're the worst.
That fight preview segment last week.
Love you, Allie.
You didn't like that.
I wasn't mad. I was fine.
The fight preview of the 14 people?
Yeah, you didn't like that
That's
one.
not true.
We got that text. Everyone got that text.
Please don't bring that back up. I just got finished dealing with
Wait
it.
a minute. What? Wait a minute. That text. Are you guys talking about?
That was a no response text that Dan
Yeah.
sent.
Okay. I'm gonna find this on my phone now. Excuse me, guys. Just keep doing the show, and I'm gonna see if I can find the text. You guys have got to be kidding me. I have got the most sensitive group of millennials in the history of sensitive millennials. Like, how did you guys grow up?
Whoa. Allison's not a millennial.
Lashing out, yeah.
Okay, why don't you read the text as you sent it, and then Allison can read the text as she read it.
Okay. Yes. Let me see if I can find. Man, it's good.
You also do this weird thing, and Mike brought it up the other day, where, like, do you know where you're texting from? Because
Yes,
you send it, like, sometimes
it's
you
not
get
a
it with the
weird
iPad, and then we respond, and you're not by the
Stugotz,
iPad. You don't get the text.
It's not a weird thing. My devices are not connected. There's not
Well,
anything.
sync them.
There's
Easy fix.
all right. Thank you.
Sync them all. Have Mike do it.
Or continue to not care because it doesn't matter to you enough whether or not you get back to people within the next couple of hours.
Well, I mean, communication with you is very, very important. I prioritize who I get back to and who I don't get back to. Like Amanda from Sales 790 just sent me a text. I'm not going to get back to her until like 3 this afternoon. Just telling you, maybe never. Just letting her know now. One from Zaslow here, maybe. Anyway, let's take a call.
Yeah.
Dan, looking for these texts?
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. I'll help you.
Who do we have here?
Parker, Abraham, or Nathan?
Let's go to Parker. Parker, go ahead. You're on Wake It Take on 790 The Ticket.
Stu, if the Powerball is at like $700 million and you win, after you pay off your debts, what are your crazy expenses going to be, and are you still going to be married?
I'll still be in the negative after I pay off my debts. $700 million. Do the math here. I'll still be, I'll pay everything off and still owe $100 million.
Hold on a second. I'm reading this text, and I am now getting mad at Allison for the first time. I cannot believe. How do I have to write to you people that what I'm reading right now is viewed as you guys did a bad job? How is this possible?
Am I on it?
No, I'm going to read it to you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So this is what we did. I am going to put this. What are you guys whispering about? Because I feel like now there's a secret group chat. Mike and Guillermo are talking and laughing. I can't hear them. Both of them are staring at the floor. It's when I know they're talking about me. Both of them are staring at the floor, so I can't read their lips. What are you guys whispering and talking about? Guys, this is just not on me. Listen,
I'll determine that.
All right, you determine it. Are you ready?
Yes, go ahead.
So we do the preview of the McGregor-Mayweather fight by talking to 14 straight guests. Okay?
Right.
14 straight guests. And for some reason, the doing of that segment is super uncomfortable for me because we are moving fast. We're going through guests. I have no idea what's coming.
Right.
And so this is what I wrote to Allison.
Okay.
Didn't mean to appear unappreciative of effort of 14 guests. I know that's hard. It's just stressful for me to do that unknown. So I was just confused by the Mina mom payoff because Mina Kimes' mom, who I've never spoken to, was the last person after 14 guests that included Butterbean and, Bubby Brister.
And a rash.
And so the next thing I write it, but it was good and fun and ambitious and creative, and you guys have made the show this week with the Sueys. It's been a pleasure to do. Thank you! Are you bleeping kidding me that results in he hates me, he hates the bit, he hates everything that we did? I'm a professional communicator.
Tone issues.
Yeah, I'll pay the fine.
And here's the thing.
This is the first time I'm mad at Allison.
But how did it get to me when it was a group text?
Yeah,
right.
that's not how you sent it. This is how you sent it.
And I was on it, by the way. And anything before a but doesn't really matter. Hope you know that.
Didn't mean to appear unappreciative of effort of 14 guests because I know that's so hard. Just stressful for me to do that unknown because I was just confused by the Mina Kimes payoff. But it was good and fun, and you're doing this in air quotes, ambitious and creative. You guys have done such a great job this week.
Okay, see, there you go, Al.
Real pleasure to do for me.
Right.
Thank you.
All right.
The only point you were trying to make was Mina's mom was a terrible choice.
Holy,
that's it. All that you meant to
say it next time.
Excellent.
Say it next time.
New character on the show, the Allison filter. The Allison filter, how positive things
is it? Yeah.
They go. How positive things become dark and then feces, and then you're afraid of the feces.
You sent that text message. It was all in Times New Roman size 12, but Mina's mom payoff was in Arial Black 36 bold.
I actually got a phone call after that text. Are you okay? Since Dan sent that text.
I
didn't even think about it.
Just not on me.
It was a solid response.
I got a phone call from Allison after that.
We all did. Everyone did.
You gotta be kidding
me. No, we all got. But that's why you can't do that, man. She called all of us.
What?
Just criticize her.
Communicate. Can't do what?
Criticize.
That wasn't criticism.
It was.
Yeah, you didn't like Mina's mom in it. Yeah. No, you didn't like the
payoff. I was just confused by Mina's mom.
You didn't like it.
Thank you.
So in summary, we read all your texts, and we do respond, just not to you.
Right. No, I got that because I'm looking at this one right now after I found it, and it's just sitting there. The last thing on the string is that from me, and then there's a nuclear explosion elsewhere, and I never hear from any of you again. I didn't even know you guys got that. I thought maybe I sent it from one of my wrong devices, and I sent it somewhere into
we got it. We got it.
We got it. Loud and clear.
Man, oh man, that right there is the difference. That right there is the stuff that appears in relationships when men and women are arguing about stuff and they simply don't understand the other gender. I'm looking at all of you that way. I'm like, you're kidding me. That is viewed as something to be feared as opposed to like gratitude and a compliment for what you guys did?
Yeah. Terrified.
Please stop yelling at
no,
me.
and here's the other part about that.
I know,
as my rage escalates on Allison, here's the other part of that. You know what's funny about that, Guillermo? The only reason I sent that text is because I left here and I thought Allison might have been hurt and wounded and headed into the weekend thinking Dan didn't like that. And so because I was doing the math on her confusion and her fear and her tension, I sent that text to soothe her.
So she knew that you weren't happy with her.
I could feel it because she's neurotic and crazy.
So soothing, this segment. I mean, I
feel better? Guillermo responded, by the way. There is a response to it. He sent us a graphic, most position players with 1.5 plus WAR.
No, that's not him responding. That's him getting in on the same group text days later, just starting his own. Let's just forget about that whole thing that happened, that mushroom cloud that happened with